Okay, hello and welcome to the video. My name is Wade Smith, and in this video, I'm going to discuss something that I just saw Sean Stricland that lowers my opinion of him even more lately. I saw a replay of the fight between Sean Stricland and Kamaru Usman, where Usman dominated Sean Stricland from behind in the first round from about the 1 minute mark through the 2.5 minute mark or so. And Sean Stricland never could get out of this rear control, which is basically a belly to back suplex position or a rear bear hug position. Um, and so I asked on the stream on YouTube, I asked, why doesn't Sean Strickland simply grab Usman's left hand and apply either a full wrist lock or a reverse wrist lock and reverse the position? First question I asked. I know that works because we worked on it in karate class, and it's basically considered a yellow to orange belt level technique, and you can get right out of a rear bear hug or any kind of rear body control with that. There's actually at least three other ways that I highlighted on the stream. Um, so that's the first thing I asked. Some guy posts back, if you're so good, why aren't you a pro fighter? You'd get beat by anybody in the top 100 in pro fighting. I wrote back, I've actually tapped out pro fighters who had over 20 professional wins, and tapped them out 2 times in a row, in fact, and tapped them out 3 times in one day. Out of 4 rolls, I tapped him out 3 times, and he only tapped me once. And I tapped out another pro fighter who had 6 professional wins, and I've tapped him out 50-50. He was a heavyweight to super heavyweight guy, and I'm supposed to be 185, but I'm pretty sick and overweight at this point in my life. But I tapped him out. This was in 2016. I tapped him out 2 times out of 4 rolls. And again, I'm supposed to be 185, and he was a 265 pounder. He was at the upper end of heavyweight, borderline super heavyweight. And I'm supposed to be 185 if I was actually at my ideal weight and healthy again. I'm 220 right now, if you care. Because I've actually had some medical problems, some severe medical problems that make it pretty hard to train full time anymore. But I told him whenever I was 20 years old, I could have beaten either of those guys. So how else can you reverse that? There's a couple ways. So whether you're standing on a standing position up against the cage, right? Notice if he's bear hugging me from behind, his arms are here, all right? You take your arm and you punch forward, and that's going to break his grip, and then you reverse elbow strike. And guess where that elbow is going? That's right, that elbow is going straight into the liver of the person behind you. All right. You punch forward, it breaks their grip, and then you reverse elbow strike straight into the liver. Do that 3 or 4 times, and the person behind you is going to be on the deck. All right. The next counter is you can simply reach up and grab them by the shoulder with both hands and throw them over your shoulder like a judo throw. I know that one works. I definitely know that one works. And then the next counter is the person being held from behind can reach down and grab the rear person's ankle and apply an ankle lock and pull their leg up and leg bar them under their own groin. Place that person's knee under your groin at your crotch, basically, and you ankle lock them and apply pressure here, and they are going to tap, and you're going to be fine. So that's 4 counters to that technique. That's why we didn't end up in a reverse bear hug position very often in the old martial arts class, even though we did anything goes in sparring other than biting, throat jabbing, and eye gouging for obvious reasons. But anything went in sparring, and people rarely ended up in a bear hug position because there are too many ways to counter a bear hug or a reverse bear hug position or reverse suplex position, belly to back suplex position is what that really is. There are too many ways to reverse it. I just did 4 of them, and they all work pretty well. And Sean Stricland evidently didn't know any of them back whenever he fought Usman. It makes no sense sometimes how these pro fighters don't know stuff that I literally learned at yellow and orange belt. How did you get a black belt and you don't know 3 months worth of training technique? I don't know. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely zero sense.